Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. Today's video is perhaps a gap in my library of ships that I have videos for. It is the Tier 4 British cruiser, the Danae. So the British heavy cruiser line has come out, and instead of treeing off the Emerald, in which case I would have been straight into Tier 6, it is treeing off the Tier 4 Danae, which I had 0 XP, so I haven't played it since I've got the Emerald, which leads me to believe that you probably haven't seen a video of me driving the ship. So I've driven the Weymouth. I'm not sure what prompted that. It seemed like a good idea at the time. But the Danae is basically the Emerald but without smoke. And it is, well, it's a specialist ship, and like all specialist ships, it's great when it's doing its specialty and it's terrible when it's not, which is why it has a pretty bad reputation. Although, having taken it out a couple of times to try and earn my way through to the Hawkins, I've come to the conclusion that the Danae is not a terrible ship, it is just a specialist ship. So it has the 6 guns, centerline mounted, AP only, so good luck against things like, well, battleships basically. But it has 2 sets of torpedoes, and which is like the Emerald, which is fantastic. It has no smoke, which means that it's very difficult to get out of trouble. So the best thing to do is to stay at range. There we go. Let's get that guy out before he gets his torpedoes away. And here's our real target. So the real target for this is French cruisers and destroyers. So at this tier, destroyers aren't quite, well, they are dangerous, but they're dangerous because they get quite a lot of quick reloads on their torpedoes. So what it means is that you don't get the same long range devastation that you might get, let's say, with the tier 7 Akatsuki or the tier 6 Fubuki, but you do get, I mean, if these guys get into range, they can get a lot of torpedoes off and they'll be reloaded pretty quickly. On the other hand, they're not usually that well driven at this tier, so which makes the job of the Danae a little bit easier. So the key thing is to make sure that you're a bad target for battleships and keep plugging away at destroyers and cruisers. So for this battle, what we've done is we've got inside the cap, we're staying inside the cap, we're going to predict that that guy's going to be stopped by the island, so not quite as much lead, a little bit more lead now as he gets clear, and we're going to close the distance now. Ahead of us is a battleship, which is never good news, and off to our, so we're going to maintain the end angle onto that sucker. It is a battleship, I think. Here we go. Should be enough to deal with this guy. We've got some airdrop torpedoes, of which we took, by the looks of it, 1. He's gone. And the destroyer really is the target here, because our battleship's pretty helpless against him. Probably not enough lead there, not by any stretch of the imagination. We'll have to wait for him to come out the other side, and he'll be out of sight by the time he does. So we're reversing, keeping our nose on towards that enemy ahead of us. Oh, look at this. This is useful. Okay, it's a bit... yeah, well, there's no chance of that hitting. But still, he's out of the cap. The cap is definitely secure. We've got 6 ships to 4. Looks like their carrier is under attack. Although their destroyer has taken down our South Carolina. So we're down a battleship. And yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is basically protecting the cap. As long as we keep the points coming, and at this point, unless we lose every ship, we're pretty much home run for a win. There we go. We'll take some offhand shots at this battleship here. It looks like a battleship. I don't know why he's steaming in the wrong direction. Oh, this guy out to the right here is what looks like a cruiser. Is it a cruiser? No, it's a dreadnought. So that's the battleship. And yeah, so what I'm going to try and do here is deal with the destroyer, which hopefully isn't too big an ask. There's not really much. If I'd been at a slightly different angle, I would have been better able to avoid those torpedoes, but as it is, he got a lot of hits on me, which means that I'm just going to quietly reverse. Oh, here we go. battleships coming in. I'm just going to keep my end onto the battleship, so I'm a poor target at this tier. They have quite poor dispersion. Let's just watch those torpedoes. Yep. As expected, at this tier, there's not a lot of good torpedo avoidance going on. Yeah. So the Danae, what's it like? Well, yeah, it's a good ship to practice to get used to the Emerald. Although the Emerald has smoke, you can't rely on it the whole game. So something like the Danae is the ideal ship basically to train up on the higher tiers. I'm looking forward to the Hawkins. Or I was looking forward to the Hawkins by the time I've recorded this video. I've got the Hawkins and I no longer look forward to it at all. But that'll be the subject of a different video. But anyway, the Danae, if you're going up the British cruiser line, it may seem like a struggle, but basically you've got to know your targets, pick your targets, and make sure you stay out of trouble with the big boys. Other than that, it's a fine ship from my perspective anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.